So time to get some jobs done on the Tiff Tuff. As you can see, a little bit overgrown. Not really, it's just seed head that you can see over here. So we're gonna give this a mow, give it a fertilise to get it ready for some top dressing next week. So we're gonna level this whole area out, make it look a lot more even and a lot more schmick. So we're gonna prep this area, talk about things that are going on with it, give you guys an update on the grass that I killed around the green as well, and just get some stuff done. So let's rip into it. So the area is looking really good. We had about, probably about 30 mil of rain. No, sorry, 50 mil 2 days ago. So this is looking lush and really, really good in color. Like, look at this, nice and thick and looking lush. But seed head is going nuts at the moment. It's going absolutely crazy. Now that is because of the stress that was on this area. It's what tends to happen. We've had a lot of wind about, and it is in need of a fertilizer as well. So it needs a bit of nutrients in here to sort of reduce that seed head a little bit. So we're gonna put some granular fertilizer out on this area today to cover this whole area, because it is due for a little bit of a feed. And I wanna push some growth too before we get that top dress out in this area. But it's funny, the seed head makes it look like it's almost dry. But you'll see as soon as we cut this down, it's gonna look really, really nice afterwards. A few weeds here and there that I need to get on top of, which I'm gonna do that after the top dress. I'm not too stressed about them. There's a couple of bits of Patterson's Curse. They've just come up through underneath. There's also a tiny patch of couch grass, like common couch, that has come up through the Tiff Tuff. Now, super easy to spot when you do see it. As I say that, I can't even spot it because the Tiff Tuff has just been so aggressive and choked it out a bit. Where is it? It's gone. I can't find it. After we mow, oh, here we go, found it. It's not even couch, that's a bit of summer grass there. Just a cheeky bit of summer grass popping up through one of the gaps that had no grass in it. As soon as this starts to creep into that area and fill that out, we won't have that problem with summer grass creeping in there. Bit of mallow here and there, like that just there. Easy to get rid of with some bow and arrow. Most of the weeds in here, I hit a bow and arrow and it's gonna all be gone. Mallow, the plantain, got a little bit of thistle here and there as well. It's not that bad. It's just stuff that was underneath that's come back through again. It's just what tends to happen. I can't find that common couch, but we'll see if we can find it after we do a mow. But let's mow this now and look how it comes up afterwards. Triple cut done. That took me about, close to an hour, about 45, 50 minutes to do that, but it's come up very nicely. Not any scalping on it really, considering how much grass I started peeling off the top. So I've decided it doesn't need fertilizer after seeing how much grass came off there after a week of not mowing. I should be doing it twice a week at the moment with the rain we just had. But it looks good, come in here, I'll show you. It's looking super healthy. It's looking really, really good. So to keep on top of that seed head, I'm just gonna mow a little bit more regularly just to knock it off the top. I mean, it's gonna start getting cooler soon and all the wind is starting to die down, which is nice. So I think the seed head should start to disappear anyway. Something that just tends to happen a lot more in summer when it gets a little bit stressed out. And I wasn't really watering the area either, so you find that does come up a lot more often as well. It probably does need some fert, but I'll fertilize it after doing the top dress because it's growing so much at the moment still, which is good, that it's not going to need fertilizer to push it to the top dress. So depends. If your lawn is growing slowly, definitely put some fertilizer out beforehand. I do a granular fertilizer with some high nitrogen, something like my Dominate fertilizer, which has got that high nitrogen in it, just to give it a kick of growth. Or you could use Reinstate as well. Reinstate actually works really well through Reno time and overseeding and stuff also. So also not a bad option with the Proliferate, but Dominate does have that little bit more nitrogen if you need to push that bit more growth. But look how tight this is, man. Like, that is tight and healthy as. really, really is. And looking out across the area, you can't see where we laid the turf, like the lines from where we laid the turf now. So yeah, it's established. It is definitely established. Definitely can take a top dress now. I mean, honestly, I could have done top dress the day that I laid the turf and it wouldn't have been a problem. But it's a lot of sand. It's gonna be a big job. Gonna have to get some sort of drag mat to drag the sand around as well, because I'm not doing that by hand. If it takes me like 20 minutes to single cut this thing on a ride-on mower, then I'm not gonna be pushing something around by hand behind it. It's not great. You can see there's a couple of extra clippings here, so a bit of wind will blow that away, or if I water it, it'll break it down a little bit as well, just because it was quite long. That's why I gave it a triple cut today. But yeah, Tiff Tuff is growing like crazy. Now, I was trying to find that common cooch that I saw in here earlier. It was just over here somewhere. There was one patch of it. Here we go, I found it. So there's not much of it, as you can see, and the Tiff Tuff's already started to choke it out. It actually looked worse than this a couple of weeks ago. The Tiff Tuff has come in and really smashed that. Now, as you can imagine, there's not any selective spray to get rid of common cooch in hybrid cooch. So the only way to get on top of that is going to be what we did down on the green surrounds, and is get that Roundup gel that I used from Yates and just paint it. It is honestly the easiest way to do it, and just keep on top of it. Even if you have to like paint it with a paintbrush with just normal Roundup, you just keep on top of it. Eventually the Tiff Tuff will just fill in and creep out those areas. It chokes it out quite well as well, because the Tiff Tuff is so dense. And it's quite aggressive as well. A lot more aggressive than your common cooch is. Which is another reason why I'm not super stressed about the weeds in here, because it's already choked out a lot of weeds now that's becoming established. I do need to come around the outside and get rid of all of this stuff around here. There's a lot of Patterson's curse, a lot of pig's weed. This stuff here, or purslane it's also called. That stuff is nasty. So I'll have to come with some glyphosate and get rid of all this nasty stuff. Something I'll probably do at the start of next week before we do our top dress, just so it's done. I can do it after, it doesn't really matter, but it just needs to be done. And I need to get rid of all the paspalum out of here as well. I'm just gonna glyphosate from there all the way through here, get rid of all that nasty stuff, even around these areas, and try and get the Tiff Tuff to grow into those spots. Now we're gonna have to create a barrier between the ryegrass and the Tiff Tuff, because I don't want the Tiff Tuff creeping in there, so I might get some rocks through there, as I've talked about in the past, like a little rock drain, just to separate those two areas a bit. But let me show you how that glyphosate gel worked on the cooch and the Kikuyu and stuff that was getting into my rye. Check it. It has absolutely smashed the Kikuyu, as you can see. That is dead and dying. It's still got a little bit of green in it, but it is dying. That is dead. I would not say that survived at all. And I didn't even paint this whole plant, so I painted a couple of sections of it, and it's translocated through the whole plant and killed the whole thing. There wasn't really any ryegrass under here anyway, and the thing is, I'm going to be doing a renovation on the rye at the start of March. So there won't be any barricade put down on the ryegrass, because I'm going to be doing an overseed. I won't be putting barricade or Spartan down here until probably August. But if you guys want to prevent wintergrass or poa in your lawn this winter time, I'd recommend looking at getting out some barricade or some Spartan in the next couple of weeks if you can. You can push it all the way up to April if you're in a bit of a warmer climate, but yeah, try and get it out end of Feb, start of March. April, if you have to, you can, it's not a problem, but get it out soon. Start thinking about it. Now you can see the cooch grass as well got knocked, something shocking, it's dead. So, no, that's all dead through there as well. It'll be interesting to see once I mow it, if any of it comes back. The thing is, if it does, I paint it again, keep on top of it, and come Reno time, I overseed this area and choke out a lot of that stuff. Ryegrass does choke it out over time because of the endophyte levels in there, which does fight away other grass types. So we're not overtaking like crazy in here, but we do still need to be cautious. And next season I need to get barricade or Spartan down, just to prevent things like this summer grass, as we can see just here, which I didn't paint this the other day. And it's just grassy weeds I'm struggling with. Broadleaf stuff, it's a cup of tea. Grassy stuff, it's frustrating. That's why pre-emergence, if you want to get rid of grassy weeds, are basically a must. Definitely a must. Yeah, especially all the past paler, man. It'll die off soon anyway, like that's just what happens here. As soon as we start getting close to frost, past palm's gone. But it just looks nasty at the moment. So give the ryegrass a mow now. Now, when I change between the Tiff Tuff and the ryegrass, I do blow off all the clippings, wash it down if it needs it. A blow's normally pretty good if the grass is nice and dry. It's not a problem at all. And if I don't think I'll get cross-contamination from the tops of the clippings. If you started getting runners in there and then they somehow got down to the soil and then you kept watering it and you hadn't kept mowing, like it is possible to get cross-contamination between them. And that's why I at least get the blower out and get all the clippings off the mower itself. Let's give this a mow. We'll give the green a mow as well. The green's in need of a mow because I missed a couple of days because of the rain. But it hasn't grown that much, to be honest. So we shouldn't get too much off and it should look pretty tidy afterwards. Well, that turned out so good. I was considering giving this a liquid fert with a touch of iron today, but I'll save it for next week because it's still holding onto colour from that granular fertiliser we put out. It's only like 2 weeks ago, so 3 weeks afterwards I normally like to get liquids out, so I'll probably get out some liquid iron with my lawn tips mix as well, the spring one, just to help with the roots and everything on this, and obviously just the top growth as well. Even out the colour, because there is some areas that are a little bit uneven in colour, so that liquid iron is just going to help with that uniformity. But yeah, the area just looks like tidy, very, very tidy. It's looking schmick. I'm giving this a Reno 2 around the same time I do the ryegrass, so it's all going to be happening. There'll be lots of stuff going on in the next little bit. Something you can actually do with your warm season grass as well now if you'd like, aerate it before the winter time just to help with, to relieve some compaction that has come up after a hot summer. But definitely something you need to think about doing with your cool season grass. Generally warm season grass, we do a Reno in the warmer months, so spring, summer. As for cool season grass, we normally do it in the cooler months, so normally autumn is the best time to do it. It's just the way that makes it easy. You don't get all those summer weeds coming up after you put the seed down in the springtime. That's what we do in the autumn. You can get poa coming up, winter grass, so it depends. If I didn't have bare spots in this and it was lush like it is in a lot of areas, I'd put barricade down. But since we've got those bare spots from the grassy weeds, we're gonna overseed and then put barricade down come springtime. Well, that's probably gonna be it for today's video, but thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, I do have a sale on my lawn plants and my ebook at the moment, 50% off. The code is Digital Plan. You chuck it in at checkout. Now that'll only be going for the next, it'll probably be going to the end of this weekend, to be honest, and then the sale will be over. And I won't do a sale like that on those for a long time, especially with the new iterations of the book coming out in the next little bit, which you do get for free included if you buy a plant. But yeah, good to get some stuff done today. Still got lots of jobs to do around the property. Still got a lot of whip snipping to do, bit of mowing on the zero turn. It's an ongoing thing when you have acres and acres of land, but I love it. It's so good. But thanks guys so much for watching. Appreciate yours, and I'll see you in the next vid.